Welcome, everybody, to the Notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And, folks, as always,
it's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
We used to read Blood Horse Magazine. I got my Cuban links on.
Yes, Cuban B.
And I'm your host, Chase Sessoms, the Wolf of Oaklawn.
I'd rather be trapped than lazy. Don't care what they say, I'ma do what pays me.
It happens every year about this time. Weaklings act like they lost their mind. Alphas reclaim the neighborhood. Rob the sheep and all the wolves get good.
Yes. Welcome to the show. Joining me, as always, you might know him as the Michelangelo of the Crying Michael Jordan. He's your favorite capper's favorite capper. Ladies and gentlemen, the benevolent time traveler, Barry the Sniper Spears.
Hey, don't rub on that. You block that. You understand? That's alpaca. That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rub on. Put the club soda on there.
Barry, what's good? How was your weekend?
Pretty good, you know. Just kind of relaxed and played a couple horses, you know, usual stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. We dropped my oldest baby off at her first week-long sleepaway camp. So my life rules right now, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just kidding. I love you, Madeline. If you ever see this. Barry, we didn't turn a profit on Ohio Derby Day. We didn't get shut out though, thanks to you, Barry. You connected on one of your daily doubles. So we didn't get totally blanked. If you played Barry's plays, you were down 60, but you left with a little something in your pocket at least. What'd you think of Ohio Derby Day? It got kind of wild there, didn't it?
Always does. It's weird how that always happens. You get these humongous long shots that win out of nowhere, and it makes for a good day. To be honest with you, there was some of those weren't too far fetched, where it was just impossible, but they were tough to get to, no doubt.
Yeah, there were some wild prices coming up. All in all, pretty good. It's kind of what you hope for as a horse player, except you hope you have those horses on your ticket, which I did not. So, anywho, Barry, it's Monday, and on Monday we pick them by the 3’s. That's right, it's Monday. Pick 3’s today. We're going to be going to the fake stuff at Presque Isle Downs, where Barry and I have examined this card from the rooter to the tooter to give you our very best pick 3’s on the Monday Presque Isle Downs card. I'm talking Presque Isle Downs today, Monday, the 23rd of June, year of our Lord, 2025. Post time for the card, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 God's time, 1:30 Pacific time, out on the Pacific Coast. And Barry, you lead us off today because that's how numbers work in race 4. Let's pull up some past performances. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got, Barry?
Yeah, so we're going to start a $5 pick 3 starting in race 4. We're going to use 3 horses in this race. We're going to use the 2 Yachty. I guess I should preface this. The 1 horse Sandy Lane Kitten I am not too fond of in this spot. This horse likes to quit late, as you can see in the past performances. Doesn't really like to win much. So we're going to bet against this horse. We're going to use Yachty, who should be forwardly placed right behind this leader in Sandy Lane Kitten and be ready to pounce. Same thing with Smile Brian, who hadn't been out in a while, drops into this condition. And you'll notice with Smile Brian, who would be my top pick here, really gets into the action when in this level of competition. He ran this level of company at Tampa January last year, and he was actually on the lead. The time after that was a 2 in 6 months, and he was right there. So he should be forwardly placed. And then we're also going to use Triple Start, same thing, dropping back into this level. Has some races to go to that would fit and win this race. So we're going to use the 2, 3, and 6 to start this off.
That's how we're starting it with the 2, 3, and 6 in the 1 mile, 70-yard, $5,000. Now, winners want something. Claiming race on the synthetic. We move it into race 5, 8.5 furlongs. Optional claimer. Barry, what are you doing with this? I call them the hump day legs, the middle legs. You know, it's like we just gotta get past hump day. The hump day leg. What are you doing in race 5?
We're going to use 2 horses here. The 3 Extra Sexy Big Daddy, which is a great name. First off, the claim for Nessa Rivera, who is 20% or so. First off the claim. This horse fits very, very well in this spot. It was a good claim. There's a lot of speed in this event, and I think this horse gets a good run at it. The same thing for a Credit, who actually ran in the Grade 3 Louisville last time. My fear is this horse is going to get really, really bet, but still looks like the horse to beat in this race, despite the morning line odds of 3-1. I think this horse will probably go down towards 9-5, 8-5 ish, maybe even lower. But we're using those two to get out of race 5 to the payoff leg.
To the payoff leg, which is leg 6, race 6, leg 3, 6.5 furlongs, $25,000 Pennsylvania bred.
I was steep raised. You think I'm scared to catch a case on some bullshit?
Optional claimer for the fillies. What are you doing here, Barry?
Taking the absolute standout Candy Reward. This horse is just good on synthetics. 3 for 6. Comes into this race the right way for Brandon Cope, who's 30% off of these kind of layoffs, 30% at the meet, 30% as a trainer in 2025. So he's going to have this horse ready. Getting Pablo Morales, who's one of the better jockeys there, and should sit an excellent trip here. There's enough speed for this horse to sit right behind and take over. I just don't see this horse losing.
Ooh, he finishes off with the Stone Cold single to end his pick 3.
Yes, I'm singing. I want to mingle.
You want to mingle?
Yeah.
There we go. Well, Barry just gave you his race 4 through 6, pick 3. I've got a pick 3 for you that coincidentally actually starts in race 6. But real quick, got to get a word in from our good friends, the Sure Betty's Coffee, because they would sure appreciate it if you went to surebetcoffee.com and picked up a bag of their Breakaway Bold. Remember, $1 of every bag sold goes to equine aftercare, and it helps take Colombian farmers up out the dope.
It's time to fuck shit up with Sure Bet in your cup.
All right, so Barry, I like your single here. I think if I were ending a pick 3 in this leg, I would be singled also. I'll say that. Because, the early part of this card, in my opinion, varied from not having any value to not having any pace to not presenting any value at all. So I had to sit back in the cut, as it were, until race 6 to start a sequence, because I wanted to use race 7 in my pick 3 because I've got nothing but big prices in that race. That's why I'm not singled here. Race 6, like we mentioned, 6.5 furlongs, the pin bred optional claimer. My main objective in this leg is to get to the next leg alive to my big prices on this card. The way I anticipate the sprint race running is with the 4 Cloud in the Wind, who's second choice on the board, linking up with the 6 Triple R rated. I think that both of these horses probably have to have the lead to win, and it completely burns out both of them. I'm using 3 horses that will be in the second wave of this pace and should be moving late and in the mix. My top pick, like Barry said, it's the 2 Candy Reward. I mean, it's the chalk, but it's the most logical. And if you're familiar with my philosophy on horizontals, we don't single off-pace horses that will rely on others to make their race and good racing luck to win. So the chalk is my top pick, but I'm including others. I'm going to use the 5, Rusty, my brother, 7-2. Another horse that should be fairly forwardly placed, has a little bit of rate to him if it comes down to it. And then I'm going to use the 7, Genevieve's Ziva, I guess, or ZVA. I'm not sure. I'm going to say Ziva, another cat horse I can sit just a little bit off of it. I move into my hump day leg, race 7, which I mentioned is where I have these prices. This is the race where I'm staunchly across the chalk or against the chalk and spreading out 4 deep with horses varying from 5-1 to 12-1. This race to me looks chaotic in the sense that I think your winner could come from anywhere in this race shape. And if that's the case, then I'm tossing the chalk and I'm picking up anyone else that I think could win. My top pick is going to be the 3, L. I'm going to say McGeeth. Could be Majeeth, but I'm going to say McGeeth, 12-1. They're not going to go exceedingly fast early in this race. The only 2 horses I could find to put on this lead were L. McGeeth, which turns out, and I looked this up, is Spanish for the McGeeth. I think it's the speed that I like between the two that I envision going. You put this horse on the lead on a slow pace on the synthetic, and she's capable of wiring the field. Definitely the class of the field after dropping in from facing much tougher at Keeneland last out on the turf. And this one's done its best running, in its career on synthetic, despite only having 3 of the 9 career cracks at winning on the surface. And the one victory, the one victory comes with the 3 victories come on the synthetic tracks. I'm also going to use the 5, Little Martha at 10-1 here. I think this one is capable of passing horses if it does heat up. I'm going to use the 6, Love Forever After at 12-1. This one is just so interesting and so what the fuck are you doing here that I have to include because this one transitions back from hurdles to racing flats. There's a lot of distance in that pedigree. We'll see how this works out going 8.3 furlongs. And then I'm also going to use the 9, Settling Storm at 5-1. This one is the horse with the big closing kick if the horses on the front aren't talented enough to finish the job on the front. And this one stretches out after shortening up to a mile last race. So I'm going 4 deep there with the 3, 5, 6, and 9. I closed out with 2 horses in race 8, 5.5 furlongs. $6.25 thousand non-winners of 2 lifetime claiming, and I think it's one of the horses on the front end of this short sprint that likely win this race. And I don't think they burn it down, and I don't think any of the off-pace horses are capable of passing. So I keep it 2 deep. Top pick is going to be the 5 Naughty Favors at 5-2. This is most likely to win it on the front. And though I add a second horse because I don't know what happens should the one beat Naughty Favors to the punch early. So I'm going to include that inside horse, the number 1, Lena Kalina at 4-1 because it's the speed. But I don't think they sign a death pact like early on in this race. I think it's either the 5 or the 1. So I closed out with those 2, 1 and 5. What did you look at that hurdler that's changing surfaces and cutting back and not jumping? What'd you think of that horse? You're muted.
Those are hard to figure because sometimes the cutbacks aren't that conducive the first time out. Usually the second time out is when they get more acclimated to the pace. It happens a lot when you see horses go from 1 1/8 to like 6 or 7 furlongs. They usually need a race before they're kind of full out at that distance, and they usually do better because they do have that bottom. But this is anything. I don't know. I really don't know what to make it. You're getting a good rider in Tyler Connor. The connections don't win very much, but I mean, they certainly fit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting place for that. I'm a staunch believer in the what the fuck are you doing here? Like, inclusion in the ticket.
I'm very pro what the hell are you doing here kind of thing because I use that angle a lot. But this is a tough race. Honestly, that 7th race is pretty tough. I mean, you got a horse in the favorite, Kiss Blue, with Riley Mott, who is a 25% trainer on the synthetic, and he doesn't really waste too many opportunities, but his horse doesn't really stand out. He's kind of looks like everybody else. So we'll see.
We will see. Barry, how do you feel about wrapping up picks?
We must. That's a must. They have to.
Is mandatory. There you go, Barry.
All right, we're going to $5 pick 3, starting in race 4. We're using the 2, 3, and 6. Race 5, the 3, 4, and race 6, the 2 to the hoop. Cash your ticket after it wins.
There we go. Now mine starts in race 6, where Barry is ending with a single of the 2, but I'm tacking on the 5-7. Race 7, 4 deep with prices, the 3, the 5, the 6, the 9. And then race 8, we closed out 2 deep, 1 and 5. That's a $24 play for $1. Usually I like to press it for a little bit larger denomination, if you will. But with the prices in that middle leg, it makes it more appealing to only hit it 2 times.
And race 4 starts at pick 5.
Yeah, we do have a team pick 5, and I would condone the singling of that 2 in race 6. So our team pick 5 here will be 236, 342, or sorry, 236 with 34 with 2 with 35, 69 with 15. I have no idea how much that costs. Don't ask me to do the math.
I have to look at the construction.
Hold on, no, we're gonna figure this out.
It's not right in front of me. I can't do the math.
We're gonna figure this out. All right, so that's 6 times 3, 18. 18 times 4, 72. That's a golf tournament. Know that off the top of my head. 72 times 2, we got 144. So that's a $72 ticket for 50 cents.
Go.
A little bit more than I like to.
It's like $100 budget if you play at least one of the pick 3s and the pick 5.
True. This is true. We're just throwing this out there. We're not telling you to do it. We're just casually placing that in front of you. No big deal. All right, Barry, that's going to do it for us today. A big week here. If you notice the episode number, we are creeping up to episode 400 to celebrate. We are doing one of our favorite things that we haven't done in a very, very long time, a tournament of pain with Matthew DeSantis, Sarah El Badwi. They're going to join us for that tournament of pain on Wednesday at a special time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. God's time. Other than that, we'll see you tomorrow. Long shots, Finger Lakes. Get fucking excited. We will see you then. 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. God's time. We love you. Let's find a clip to ride out on, and let's use one we haven't used in a while.
I ain't asking for the world here. I'm just asking for an 8 ball and $2 million.